Saturday night outside Amica Mutual Pavilion. It feels like opening week. College basketball on FS2 here in Providence, Rhode Island. Nothing quite like a local battle. New England repped well tonight. Stonehill, its second major test already, visiting Providence. Welcome inside the Am. So happy to have you with us alongside Tarek Turner. I'm Emmanuel Barbari. Providence kind of feeling its way through that opening night test against Central Connecticut. How important is a game like tonight against Stonehill?
Well, they weren't happy in their first game. They were happy they won. They won by 4 points, but the way they won was not what Kim English was hoping for. They've had some health issues, but they're getting back to normal. They had a good week of practice. They got to take care of the basketball. That's the first thing that Kim English wants to see tonight.
That's a common thread between these two teams. The starting lineup sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. And when you talk to both head coaches, they're saying how we didn't have a whole heck of a lot of time in preseason to play together, so these teams still feeling each other out.
Guess what? Nobody cares. It's important, but nobody cares. Everyone has adversity. You're right. Both teams have not been healthy. Both teams are pretty much new teams with 7 or 8 new players for each team. But that is part of the era of basketball we're in now. Both coaches have to adjust. The key thing is you don't have a lot of grace period early on in the season. You have to get ready to win right away because these games matter.
The games all matter, and Kim English, one of the things he looked at this offseason was stockpiling depth. They have a ton of it this year, so without Bryce Hopkins for at least a couple of more weeks, they feel confident about where they are.
Well, you know, they have some leadership, and certainly in the backcourt when you talk about a guy like Bensley Joseph, the guard who transferred from Miami, he's an integral part of that backcourt along with Jaden Pierre, who's the only other returning starter for Providence outside of Bryce Hopkins, who, as we know, is not in the lineup yet. So you have some experience. You also have Corey Floyd Jr., but then you have some new pieces that we'll get to talk about tonight.
There's Wesley Cardette, the Chicago State transfer, who can flat out play make and score. Providence really high on him. And taking the opening tip, Oswin Aroncer. This guy's a major prospect, and Todd Brogna, who is about 3 inches shorter, wins the tip for Stonehill.
The Stonehill team plays a motion offense, a lot of cutting and screening across from the ball, and they got a couple big-time shooters.
Amir Nesbitt's one of them, right on cue.
Nesbitt with the step back. He's an experienced transfer from Hampton. He's got a quick release and gets them on the board.
Nesbitt, the backup point guard at Hampton, now more of a prominent role here with the Skyhawks as Cardette takes it right to the hole.
Well, Cardette's an interesting player because he's a scoring wing that can also play up front at the power forward. You see the physicality, but a nice straight line drive. They want him attacking the paint off the bounce.
Leading scorer everywhere he's been. Sanford, Chicago State. Now elevated immediately in the Big East with Providence. Muser is one of those bigs who can shoot it from deep for the Skyhawks.
This Providence team is going to switch everything, particularly off the ball, because of the way that Stonehill plays. You've got to be alert off the ball.
With 3 to shoot, Stinson off balance and Oswin the board.
A big-time challenge by Aroncer, the big man, the freshman, with the length.
There is Oswin. He can fly.
Well, that was great two-man action, and Pierre, the point guard, with the penetration. He gets into the paint, and early on, you see the Friars playing through the paint, through dribble penetration and hard drives. And this is just great execution. Oswin Aroncer, the first freshman to start the season opener since Dave Duke Jr., who's in the NBA now for Providence.
A strong company for Oswin. Nesbitt again. What a start for Amir Nesbitt.
Well, he hunted that mismatch, and when he got the switch with Oswin Aroncer guarding him, he knew he had the space and the quickness. Second step back jumper he hit.
All 5 for Stonehill early. Bensley Joseph, that winning pedigree from Miami. Off the dribble. Pierre. Cardette, an open look. That's a 3.
It's just good basketball, and it's coming off the driving kick. Another paint touch, and a great job by Pierre attacking the paint and drawing 2 defenders, and Cardette off to a nice start. The second field goal.
Muser for 3. Got it. That's what Stonehill loves to do.
Well, the spacing is great there. In Stonehill, they've got 2 or 3 big-time shooters. Muser, probably their best perimeter shooter. And he's a mismatch because he can screen and pop. And you got to come out and guard him.
Pierre penetrating over Muser. Short. Oswin the offensive rebound. Arunser, what a start, but gets ripped away. Muser poked it out.
That's just strength right there. He'll get better with that. He's got the length and athleticism, Arunser, but you got to rebound with two and be strong with the ball.
Nesbitt another. Short. Joseph the board. Oswin coming from Benin City, Nigeria. 5-star recruit for Providence. There's a bump near the foul line. Corey Floyd Jr., third year, after a freshman year at UConn.
Floyd, another experienced player in his second year with the Friars. As we watch a nice screen and pop here, and Mueller is the kind of guy you got to stay attached to him, because when he screens as a screener, he's at his most dangerous, because he can draw spacing off the driving kick right there, and then he can step out and knock down that jump shot.
Josh Morgan comes off for Stonehill, one of their leaders for Louis Simona, his first foul. Nice pass. Oh, Floyd threading the needle to Cardette.
Great execution off the flex baseline cut. They set a perfect cross screen for Cardette, and a great job by him cutting hard off the basket, off the ball.
Back and forth in the early stages. Christopher Mellis, 6'5" big. This guy can do a bit of everything for Stonehill. They speak so highly of him. Simona, he has a green light, and he takes it.
One thing you notice right away is the Skyhawks have multiple shooters, and they do a great job of moving without the ball. First turnover here by the Friars.
Stonehill feeling it. That's one aspect. How important is it for Stonehill on the road here to develop some perimeter momentum?
Well, when we talked to Coach Krause, his biggest concern was handling the Friar pressure, taking care of the ball, and making sure they get quality possessions, and they've done that so far early on. You gotta like the pace of this game if you're Coach Krause. Up two. I think they only have one turnover so far, so that's a kind of start you want to have if you're Stonehill.
Stonehill, 4 of 6 so far. They just came from Notre Dame. Lopsided loss, but felt positives with how competitive they were late in that first half, challenging the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, they cut it to 5 with a few minutes left in the first half, and then the game got away from them, but they did give up. They battled. And that's all you can ask for.
Nice pass by Mellis, and that sets up Chaz Stinson for 2 at the free throw line.
This Stonehill team, they do a nice job of cutting off the ball. And when we talked to Kim English this morning at shoot-around, he said, we're going to make a little bit of an adjustment defensively and try to switch everything off the ball because of the way Stonehill plays. And that's not normally how they play, but as we know, Emmanuel, the game is a game of adjustments, and it's kind of like a chess match.
And what a challenge for a team early in the season. You don't really implement something and get a look at 11th year Stonehill head coach Chris Krause, who was impressed with his team over at Notre Dame, winning pedigree, Division II, now in Division I. And back to your point on Kim English, if you can implement something day of and challenge your team that way early in the season.
Yeah, they literally put it in during shoot-around. They made this adjustment, they worked on it. And, you know, obviously you have to have a high IQ team, which he does believe this team is, and you got to be able to learn on the fly and make adjustments. That's part of, being a good team.
First look for Chris Asandiko, the St. Joe's transfer, who gives it back and travels. A 7-footer who can step out.
Yeah, Asandiko, one of 3 bigs on this Friar team. They're excited about his potential, his ability to score with his back to the basket.
Kim English already saying a big bellowing voice, a leader who stepped in immediately for the Friars, had an impact. Battled an early season wrist injury. Off the ball fake, Simona. That was nearly so pretty as Cardette grabs the board. Joseph fouled in transition. Stinson looking to read that passing lane. Skyhawks got to feel pleased so far on the road at the end. 12-9 lead and feeling it from deep. Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Starting to feel more like winter in Providence, Rhode Island. A chilly Saturday night. Back and forth offense so far. Stonehill, the 3-point edge. Terry, how about the efficiency so far?
Yeah, I mean, both teams are playing good offense, and I think it's going to come down to the next stretch. Who can get some stops to kind of separate? And right now, you're seeing Stonehill stretch the floor. They have got, a number of guys that can shoot the three. Nesbitt got them going, and then Mueller is a big-time shooting big man. And, they've got more guys that can stretch the floor and off that motion offense, which poses a lot of problems.
6 lead changes so far, and Stonehill forcing 3 Providence turnovers. How impressive you've been with the defense at this point?
Well, I think Stonehill is playing discipline, and I think that's the key for them is they can't gamble. They've got to be in position. They've got to communicate because this Providence team, they got guys that want to get to the paint and attack, and they've done a good job themselves with the exception of a few turnovers of scoring in the paint off of dribble penetration.
Abdur-Rahim, he's a 3-point sniper. 4th collegiate stop at Providence, coming over from Georgia in a career year. Abdur-Rahim attacking hard. No. Hassan to go amidst the trees, stays with Providence. 4 on the timer.
And again, they're attacking off the bounce. This is what Providence has done. And at some point, well, right now they've got 4 seconds, so they don't have a lot of time, but enough time.
Joseph to throw in. Hassan to go. The 7-footer with 2. Hassan to go. Not close, and more strong defense from Stonehill.
Yeah, very good possession defensively for the Skyhawks, and get a nice ovation for another 7-footer.
Anton Bunk.
And he is not 7 feet, he's 7'2". Ooh, massive guy.
From Vanuatu, Anton Bunk, South Pacific Independent Island Nation. That's northeast of Australia, in case you're curious.
Near Fiji. Ever been to Fiji?
Never been to Fiji. Never been to Vanuatu either.
Me neither. It's on my list, though.
That seems like a paradise-like environment. Here's a bad pass from Nesbitt, and it heads back to Providence. Anton Bunk's an interesting story. He was a rower until he was 15 years old. Only picked up basketball as of 5 years ago, and here he is at the Big East level with Providence.
And Kim English is very high on him. He's got a lot of potential. Got great size, but he's also got a nice touch. He can shoot the three, he can score inside, and he told us that when they had their pro day earlier this season, he made 30 or 35 threes, which was the record for the team this year.
At 7'2", hitting 30 of 35 threes. Here's Bunk, he's open, and that's to the free throw line. We're getting a foul with Bunk, nearly creating an electrifying moment.
He was going to get this arena amped up. I mean, they were bracing themselves, getting ready. And another nice job with the penetration. And the bigs of Providence do a nice job of rolling and cutting to the basket because they know if they make themselves a target, the guards will find them. We've seen both Pierre and Joseph get into the paint and get the ball in a position where the bigs can do something with it.
Facilitating nicely for the bigs, including Bonk here.
You see that nice touch by Bonk, 7'2". He's got good mechanics.
Went to visit a friend in Davis, California when he was toying with the idea of playing basketball. He was there where a guy was in his gym from Central Arizona Junior College and noticed him, mentioned it to his coaches. Here's a 7'2" guy who can shoot 80% from 3 in an open gym, and that's when he found his way to college basketball.
And you don't just find 7'2" guys, any day.
Oh, nice attack here. Nesbitt can't hit the bunny. Abdur-Rahim the rebound. Joseph off the head fake. Joseph high off the window. No. Rebound Abdur-Rahim. Nesbitt, nice feed. User hammers it home.
Yeah, it's great execution, and that was another switch that went bad for Providence, and Bonk got caught on Nesbitt, and they made him pay. But this is the challenge that Providence is finding with the Stonehill team. They've done a good job of taking advantage of those switches and scoring off of them.
User, who has 5 early points, not happy hitting the deck there. A foul on Kofi.
Watch here, you see the switch, and Bonk got out a little bit too slow, and Abdur-Rahim didn't recover fast enough. And Bonk got caught in no man's land, leaving a wide open cutter for the dunk.
Here's Bunk knocked away by Muser, offensively and defensively for Ethan Muser.
Well, this is not the start you want to see for the Friars. They had an issue last game for Central Connecticut State. They turned the ball over 16 times.
On the curl, Simona nearly ripped away by Abdur-Rahim. 8 to shoot, Muser intercepted by Floyd. Barron running the floor. Got it, plus the foul.
And that's Friar basketball right there, scoring off their defense, getting out in transition. Started with Floyd with the steal, and then the presence of mind of Barron to attack off the bounce in transition with the head of steam.
Muser's first foul, that frustration for Stonehill. Uplifting moment for Providence, looking to recapture some momentum.
Well, you know, the game is a game of runs. We know that. And this is a Providence team, as Kim English told us, that they have only had a couple of days where they've had 5 or 10 guys to practice, to the point where Kim English and the staff had to jump in and practice so they could have a full scrimmage.
Kim English, certainly capable. 36 years old.
Yeah, he's in good shape.
Still in good shape. Stinson to the free throw line, all the way to the hole. And Kim English can challenge his players 1v1. He can still put up a fight.
Yeah, he's in great shape. Great dude. He'll be a star in the coaching fraternity. He's already off to a great start. The first Providence coach in the history to win over 20 games in his first year. Not a coincidence. He's a big-time coach, and he's got these guys locked in. But right now, Emmanuel, he's worried about a couple things. Taking care of the basketball, and then defensively, they have had trouble with these switches. And the last couple possessions, Anton Bonk has got caught on the switch, and Stonehill has made them pay by either scoring or drawing a foul.
Chaz Stinson from Charlotte, North Carolina, junior, one of the leaders for Stonehill vocally, settles for 1 of 2. Back in the hands of Bob. Abdur-Rahim left open for 3 in the lead, and he's got it.
That's just good basketball. Abdur-Rahim relocated and created some space to make himself available. And as Bonk drew the double, he just found him wide open, and Abdur-Rahim, one of the better perimeter shooters at 6'8" on this Friar team.
Nesbitt attacking hard and draws the foul.
Amir Nesbitt has been more aggressive tonight than he was in their last game. Watch the double and just great execution. When Abdur-Rahim saw Bonk get doubled, he relocated and moved over a little bit to make himself in position to catch and shoot. No hesitation.
That goes down as a second on Pierre. Something for Providence to monitor, starting point guard. Amir Nesbitt coming over from Hampton.
Well, he looks good tonight. He looks aggressive, and he's playing with a mindset that he wants to put some pressure on this Providence backcourt by attacking. He's much more assertive offensively in this first half than he was in the first game versus Notre Dame. Here's a horn set that Providence likes to run, where they try to play through their forwards and get a little ball reversal.
Justin Fernandez for another Abdur-Rahim triple.
That's just great offense, great execution. And when you shift the ball side to side, you make the defense shift, and making that extra pass to Abdur-Rahim was all they needed.
Stinson, mismatch. Stinson still lays it in over the 7-2 bump.
Not an easy shot. Big time touch by Stinson. Playing off of 2 feet, poised and under control.
Barron left open. No dice, a rebound to Nesbitt. The assertiveness of Nesbitt so far.
Yeah, he looks good. He's playing with pace.
He's got that green light, can't hit. Abdur-Rahim the rebound. Coming off that career season at Georgia. Pierre from deep. to the floor. That's Brogna. So this heads to Stonehill. Still in this one early, a 1-point game, but Providence with the response. Jabri Abdur-Rahim, his father Sharif, his inspiration, his mentor, and he knows how to stroke it from deep. Speaking of the college basketball season, it's Providence and Stonehill. That guy getting going. Jabri Abdur-Rahim, his father Sharif, former college star at Cal. Right now the president of the NBA G League after an outstanding NBA career. And they have a long-standing relationship, as you could imagine, but very close father and son. They stopped playing one-on-one, by the way, in 8th grade. That's when Jabri got to a point where he was completely outdueling his dad.
Well, I'll tell you this. If they were both in their primes, young Jabri wouldn't have a chance. And I mean that respectfully, because his dad, Sharif, was a special player. In college at Cal, he was only there for 1 year, I believe, and then he went to the NBA and had a great career with the Vancouver Grizzlies at that time, and went on to work in the NBA, which is where he works now.
President of the G League, and Jabri, head coach Kim English has known him since the Tennessee days when he was an assistant there. Recruited him out of high school. Didn't get him then, got him now, and sure is happy to have him. Already 7 lead changes in this game. Christopher Mellis, the big man off the bench, setting it up for Providence. Josh Morgan, the trigger. Battle for the rebound. And his last off to Friars, who struggled with it.
Well, this Stonehill team, one of the things that they feel is important is controlling tempo when they have the ball by not taking quick shots. And they are getting good possessions because they're not rushing. They're passing and moving. They're cutting hard, and they're doing a good job of making Providence work defensively.
Oh, nice hands there from the 7-foot Oswin. Here's Cardette. Too strong. Fernandez tied up on that rebound attempt.
Fernandez came over from George Mason, highly touted recruit.
One of the best athletes he's ever seen, Kim English said.
He's just getting healthy. He sat out all last season with the left knee injury. And he is, you know, when I look for leadership, you know, I look to see who's vocal. And in their preseason, in the shoot-around this morning, he was the most vocal guy on the floor, defensively especially.
5 to shoot for Joseph. With 3. Cardette. Cash at the shot clock buzzer.
Well, if you're Kim English, you're very happy because this guy, Cardette, came over from Chicago State with a reputation as a big-time scorer, but hadn't really won. And now he is in a new role, but they need him to score. They need him to be a guy they can depend on for double-figure scoring, and he's off to a great start tonight, playing inside and out.
Mellis misfires, but follows his own rebound. There's the hustle from Mellis. Cardette, 10 of Providence's 22 so far. He's been lighting it up.
Well, he's done it a variety of ways. It's not just shooting the ball from outside. He's gotten to the rim. He's cut hard. And he's kind of a hybrid 3-4. He's got a strong upper body. He can play the 4 when they go small. And then he can play the 3 as well. And defensively, he should be able to guard pretty much 1 through 4.
Wesley Cardette Jr. played for his uncle, Gerald Gillian, over at Chicago State last year. He was very close with Kim English. Tied up there, Cardette. Nice defense here from the Skyhawks.
Stonehill made an adjustment there. They went to a zone, a 1-2-2.
Deep 3, Nesbitt. Oswin the board. Lloyd open for 3. And a battle for that rebound. A foul called right near Arunser, who draws a lot of attention.
Well, Arunser is a freak athlete, and he is probably got the best upside on this court. And you'll see him here. His Cardette gets the shot blocked, and Stonehill is off trying to push tempo. But this young man right here from Nigeria, Benin City, Nigeria, Putnam Science Academy. He is a special talent. As Kim English said, he could jump to the ceiling. which is pretty high.
That's not a hyperbole, by the way.
No, he's a freak athlete. He's 6'10", lefty, great motor, great upside. And they're really excited about him. As I said earlier, the first Friar to start as a freshman in a long time.
Here's Morgan wiggling free. 5 to shoot. With 3, backdoor. Oh, that's pretty. Stinson with the flush.
Great cut and a great pass, and just reading the defense. Cardette overplayed. Stinson made him pay with the great back cut for the dunk.
Barron, the quick answer off the mark. Dragna. Rebound off his foot, so Cardette keeps it alive. By the way, Mellis is off with the 2 fouls for Stonehill. So get a travel on Bensley Joseph. Every foul rest of the way puts Providence on the free throw line this half.
Bensley Joseph, the transfer from Miami, starting in the backcourt, and you watch the film of him. Here's a great back cut by Stinson, and you know, when you overplay, that's what you want to do. Great pass, great execution. I'm really impressed with Stonehill's pace offensively in the half court. Great spacing, and they complement it with some shooting. Makes it hard to guard.
Stinson with 6 already. User's been feeling it. Comes up short. Cardette the rebound. Floyd the trailer, the triple. And a battle on the rebound attempt. This heads the other way. Here's Stonehill. Got to be happy so far. A 2-point game at Providence, at the end. Controlling the tempo, controlling this environment. 2-point game, 8 minutes to play. Half number 1. Well played first half so far here at the Amp in Providence, Rhode Island. Stonehill hanging around, holding Providence to one of its last 8 from the floor. You think defense, you think Stonehill. Normally you don't think this guy, but Bill Harrion, in his first year on Chris Krause's staff at Stonehill, he's one of the winningest head coaches anywhere, ever. In the America East, winningest coach in history. In New Hampshire, winningest head coach in history. And he joins Chris Krause's staff as the defensive leader of the coaching staff, and they say his energy is contagious every single day.
Well, he's got a wealth of knowledge. He's got, you know, a wealth of experience, and you know, I think that's why he's been such a huge addition to Coach Krause, and he's kind of like a defensive coordinator kind of role for their staff. And you know, he's got the responsibility of making sure they're locked in, making sure that they're in the right position. And when you have a new team, you know, this is a Stonehill team with 9 new players, so that's not going to happen overnight. And certainly they know that. So they're trying to build good habits. Notre Dame was their first test, and now they're on the road again here in Providence.
You know, going into Rick, there was a lot of unknown with this Stonehill team coming to Providence. What would it be? How do we stack up? But moments like these with a blank slate, blank canvas, sort of telling about a team.
Well, they've come out with the right mindset. They look organized. They're playing good basketball. They're shooting a good percentage, and defensively they have competed early on.
Dragna, strong move. And a fight for the rebound. This heads to Providence. Ryan Mila, the freshman from Natick, Massachusetts, right nearby. He wrestles it out.
Well, you know, Kim English, you know, when we talked to him, he said, look, I'm still trying to get a feel for my team, and I'm still trying to figure out what kind of rotations I want to play. And, you know, he knows that he's got some guys he can count on, and, you know, that would be guys like Joseph and Floyd and Pierre in the backcourt. But, you know, Abdul Rahim is certainly someone that can stretch the floor and knock down shots. And obviously the elephant in the room, and I mean that in a good way, is when Bryce Hopkins comes back. We'll talk about him as the game continues. But what he means to this team, the All-Big East performer from a couple years ago, almost healthy. We can't wait to see him back.
Off the bad pass, a miscommunication with Simona. Providence takes it back. And that's when the Friar season really turned last year. Pre-Hopkins injury, post-Hopkins injury, so they're chomping at the bit to get him back.
And not to mention, they did lose 2 pretty good players. Devin Carter, a lottery pick, who is in the NBA now, and Josh Aduro, their big man, very good player, one of the best big men in the conference last year. two big losses, and then obviously Bryce Hopkins.
Oh, Mila blowing by.
Big time drive by Mila. You attack the closeout with a nice drive, and he came off the bench and didn't hesitate. That's what you want to see. Be aggressive and attack.
Stinson looking to answer. Stinson short, can't gather his own rebound, and here comes Cardette. Yeah, Devin Carter's emergence, a huge reason why the Friars were even on the bubble when it was all said and done last year.
He was such a good player. I mean, he was Big East Player of the Year for a reason. And his ability to turn the game around on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively, was something else.
Cardette, strong move. What do you like it about Wesley Cardette?
Well, his versatility, his strength, and he's a mismatch for a lot of players because he's either too quick for his opposing player or he's too strong. And we've seen him put the ball on the floor, and one-on-one, no one's been able to stay in front of him because the contact doesn't bother him. He's strong, right? And he's looking to attack. He's playing with purpose.
Latest culprit is Herman Kofi, who picks up his second foul for Stonehill. One more, and it's double bonus time rest of the way. Still 6:32 to play in this first half.
Wesley Cardette, you know, he's really, you know, a three-man, but as I said, I think he'll play some four, especially until Bryce Hopkins comes back. You know, depending on what kind of lineup size-wise that Kim English wants to play, he can play multiple positions.
Free throw shooting struggles for both teams early.
Providence still switching that off-the-ball action.
Another miscommunication with Simona at the top. Providence will sub in Alex Bates. And he'll come on, the transfer from Iona, where he played for Tobin Anderson.
Miscommunication there, and we also got to give Providence credit because they were prepared for Nesbitt to come off that down screen.
It's an offensive foul. Joseph bulldozing inside.
Well, similar to their last game, Providence versus Central Connecticut State. You know, Joseph had a so-so first half, and in the second half, he turned into a different player and started making shots, started really attacking. This first half, he's been kind of up and down and still had, you know, kind of get some kinks out.
His personal 6-0 run, Bensley Joseph, pretty much won the game for Providence on Monday. Kofi off the mark, and here comes Mila. Freshman logging quality minutes in this first half. Abdur-Rahim, shake and bake. Cardette, nifty
Good defense.
move.
Good defense.
Kofi, one of the best there is in the NEC. 5 to shoot. Joseph peels free and lays it in. Oh, smooth as silk.
Well, they didn't panic. They had the pressure to get a good shot, but they didn't rush it. And Joseph recognized he was being overplayed. Great pass by Abdur-Rahim. Joseph gets on the board with his first basket.
This is the largest Friars lead, forcing another turnover. Abdur-Rahim. Cardette. Joseph from deep. Oh, he hit that from Eaton Street. Providence cruising. It's up to a 9-point lead, largest tonight.
And Bensley Joseph joining the party, starting to get some momentum and making some shots. And this Providence team, they have the ability to separate pretty quickly because they have been searching for some kind of momentum with multiple guys attacking. It started with Cardette, and then Abdur-Rahim got going, and now Joseph knocks down his first three. So good sign for Kim English and the Friars.
7-0 Friars run, forcing this Stonehill timeout. And the student section always bringing it, feeling good at the end.
Well, this is a fun place to play. I mean, this is, we talked about it earlier this morning, in terms of arenas and exciting atmosphere in the Big East. This is one of the best places because of the the student involvement is always packed, is always loud. And I think that's one of the reasons why Providence, their teams have had so much success, because they've got great fans and a great environment here.
I got a pressing question for you, though. Monday night, you said Bensley Joseph, who just hit that triple, he had a big role in winning the game. Was it him or the Duck in the student section? The Duck was here.
Yeah, the Duck was here. That was, I mean, we got to talk about that. That was something. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Had a Duck in the student section.
Literally.
I believe Dawn was banned for this game, which is unfortunate, but we'll keep track.
Yeah, we will.
Morgan, no. Joseph, the rebound. Never have quite seen that. Providence a 7-0 run, a 9-point lead. Joseph.
Strong
nice
drive.
attack, count it, and the foul. Corey Floyd Jr.
Well, you love the fact that Floyd didn't settle for the jump shot. He could have took a pull-up, but he said, no, I'm going to continue to attack and use my strength. He got an angle. When you get that angle on a defender, then you just have to elevate. And here's a older, more experienced player. He's been around. He's his third coach in 3 years. But he's settled in and knows what Kim English expects from him. And he knows that he has to be a guy that can make plays on and off the ball.
Forcing Morgan's second foul, so more foul trouble for the Stonehill Skyhawks. A 10-0 run for Providence here. What are the Friars doing so well to get Stonehill in that foul trouble?
I think it started on the defensive end. They've gotten a couple stops, which carried over into good possessions. And the theme offensively for Providence has been they have attacked off the bounce and done a good job of playing through the paint. Providence now playing with 4 guys switching, and then the big man, Asandiko, just guarding the rim like a goalie.
Kofi off the mark and right back to the Friars.
This is the defense they worked on this morning. When they have a non-shooting center in the game, Stonehill, they play 4-out switching.
Executing Kim English's game plan. 10-0 run, 12-point Friars lead at home. Providence out to a 12-point early lead over Stonehill, creating separation much earlier than Monday against Central Connecticut. Took a few huge Bensley Joseph shots to win that game.
Yeah, this game is a different kind of feel for Providence. They've come out and had multiple guys step up. It hasn't just been the Bensley Joseph show. It's been Cardette. Abdul Rahim has been good. Floyd is starting to get involved. And obviously Bensley Joseph coming along as well. So multiple guys stepping up. And defensively, they're starting to put some stops together.
So there was the Bensley Joseph effect on Monday, but there was also Dawn the Duck. That's his owner with him, Justin Thames, who I don't think can be too happy that the Duck is not allowed at tonight's game. He's a long-time New England Providence fan. Dawn the Duck, he says, was the magic potion for Providence on Monday. What do you say?
I mean, you don't bring a duck into a game unless you're a diehard fan. I mean, that's pretty gutsy. You know, and obviously it worked because they pulled out the win. You know, Kim English told us this morning that he was so locked in that he didn't even know about the duck until, I think, the next day.
I was stunned by that. I thought Kim English would be right on top of that. He says, I'm not on social media during the season. Asandiko turns it over and heads back.
That's impressive, by the way. I don't know too many coaches that totally unplug from social media and tells you the kind of focus this young man has as a coach, as a leader. He wants to give his team everything he has and looks at it as a distraction, so he doesn't do it.
And dialed in at all times. He calls himself on edge, but in the best way possible. Always on edge about basketball.
He said he's trying to get his team, or thinking about, he wishes his team would get off of it. I told him good luck with that.
Right, this day and age. 5 to shoot. Nesbitt, nice deflection from Asandiko.
Yeah, the deflection is what Asandiko can bring with that length and that size. And defensively, you talked about what's turned this game around. Well, that's where it is on that side of the court. They have been able to keep Stonehill out of the paint, limit them to 1 shot, and now they're off and running.
That's Mellis's 3rd foul. The foul trouble, a big story late in this first half for Stonehill, and they're scoreless over their last 7 minutes here.
Well, if to Stonehill, you can't afford to have those kind of scoring droughts because, one, you're on the road, two, you're playing against a team that feeds off this crowd, and they now have 4 or 5 guys that are contributing. It's not just Cardette who got them started. It's multiple guys.
Ryan Mila, how about him? Freshman forward from Natick. Providence trying to figure out what works in the early season, and Mila has lots of quality minutes in this first half. Asandiko with the hands again. Nesbitt motoring free. Simona the trigger. Still a scoring drought for Stonehill. Fernandez, too strong. Abdul Rahim, airborne, plus the foul.
It's just a great job by Abdul Rahim, who has given them a lift with his versatility. He's 6'8", came out of high school as a scorer, as a reputation as a shooter, but he's more than that. He can use his length and athleticism and just good heads-up basketball. No one puts a body on him, and that's a great place to rebound the ball from the weak side, especially when the defense is not looking. So he got right into between the cracks and finished the play.
That's 9 for Abdur Rahim and a 15-0 Friar run. 2 and change to go in this first half. Nesbitt bumped by Joseph.
Well, Nesbitt's got to continue to be aggressive. He has been really aggressive with his dribble penetration, and putting the pressure on the defense is one way to do it, by penetrating, especially when you have a closeout, as Joseph just did.
Joseph's second foul for Providence as Amir Nesbitt, who's been impressive in this first half, heads to the free throw line. He was born in Virginia, but his family is from the Virgin Islands, so he's played consistently for the U.S. Virgin Islands national team. That's what Chris Krause loves about him. How about the steal from Stinson, attacking and drawing the contact on Fernandez.
Strong take. And that's how you attack the basket if you're Stinson. And a good challenge by Fernandez. Got a piece of it, but also got it with the body. Starts with the turnover. Fernandez tried to make up for it by hustling back with too much body there. And Stinson, the 6'4" junior, going to the line for 2. And Coach Krause said that Stinson is one of their upperclassmen who's gotten better every year just by staying the course and continuing to do the work, not realizing that it would happen overnight, but just in the gym, working, in the weight room, trying to get stronger. And now he's one of their more experienced upperclassmen.
Chris Krause saying that that's a model for the rest of this team. When you lack some leadership early in the season, this day and age, that's an example of how to stick it out, find a role for yourself. Floyd dribbles into traffic. Simona comes away. Nice look from Nesbitt. And it slides up with a 3. Herman Kofi, his first bucket, and that stops a 15-0 Providence run.
Well-needed basket by the Skyhawks, and Stonehill's not going away. Kim English recognizes it by calling the timeout. He wasn't happy with that possession. They didn't match up. And Nesbitt doing a good job of finding his teammates. Good looking shot right there.
Herman Kofi. He shares the Canadian roots with Chris Krause. That's how he found his way to Stonehill. About 90 seconds away from halftime here at the Amp, and coming up at the half, presented by Jeep. We'll recap everything you need to know about the first half between Providence and Stonehill. We'll also join our LA studios with Bill Raftery, Donnie Marshall, Casey Jacobson, and a Providence team preview. It's one of those teams in Providence where if things come together, you can easily see them once again in the NCAA tournament. But you can also see them really making noise in the NCAA tournament. A long way to go before then, but much more depth this season.
Yeah, that's just why, it's such an exciting conference to follow. And, Providence, when they get Bryce Hopkins back, I think they have, a chance to be really, really good because he's an impactful player on both ends of the court. And, we had the chance to talk to him this morning. We'll get into that in the second half, but he sounds and looks like he's close to returning, anywhere between the next 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully.
Cardette now with 12. He's paced the Friars in this first half. Very optimistic Bryce Hopkins talking to him at shoot-around. And hopes he improved his game throughout this process as well. Keyshawn Shillingford just into the game and in between on that pass for the 7-footer.
Well, that was a possession that you could tell that Kim English, whatever he said to his team, they were locked in and they were not going to get beat backdoor. Stonehill tried to get a back cut twice and Providence didn't fall for it. They played underneath but still in position to deny. Good fundamental defense.
Abdur-Rahim. This is the free throw line for 3.
That's a pet peeve, and Coach Krause not happy there. Fouling the three-point shooter. Simona gets him on the arm, and Abdur-Rahim, he's on track for a big night scoring.
That's Simona's first foul. Kim English, if you were watching earlier today with Seton Hall and Fordham, and talk about fouling a three-point shooter at an inopportune time. That erased a 4-point lead in the span of 18 seconds for the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. You should not lose a game up 4 with 18 seconds. And, it was a nightmare scenario, but you got to give Keith Ergo and Fordham credit for staying with the game plan. And Jackie Johnson with a big-time 3, a big-time shot.
Cardette pokes it away. Abdur-Rahim. Oh, it's Abdur-Rahim's first half. Lighting it up.
He really is, and he is not hesitating. He is locked in, and you can tell that he is in the zone right now.
Nesbitt answers back. Abdur-Rahim with that quick release, that quick trigger from deep. 4 of 6 shooting, 14 for Providence.
And on top of that, he's 6'8", so he can elevate over pretty much anyone.
Shot clock off. Here's Floyd. With 8 seconds, Nesbitt beating the running Stinson. And this heads right back to Providence as Stinson couldn't get the handle. Jabri Abdur-Rahim. Get to know this one.
Just knocking down shots, motion, feeling good, and he's a great addition to this team. He can give them some perimeter shooting and some offensive rebounding.
Makes it a 22-5 run for Providence spanning the last 7 minutes of this first half. And one more opportunity here for the Friars, who have built a 19-point lead. Floyd with 1. Floyd. Too short, but what a response from Providence late in the first half.
Well, it started on the defensive end, and that carried over to their offense, and they got into a spurt of offense where it was hard to stop them, and Abdur-Rahim was a big catalyst for that, along with Wesley Cardette, 2 newcomers to the Friar program, making their impact felt tonight.
Plenty to do at halftime. Stonehill finding its way early. Providence with the response defensively. And Jabri Abdur-Rahim from the perimeter. Providence by 19. Stonehill back and forth with Providence early, but the Friars finishing the first half on a 22-5 run to take a commanding halftime lead here at the AM. Second game of the season, and the perimeter shooting three, big theme led by Jabri Abdur-Rahim. You can feel the momentum building and building late in this first half.
Yeah, well, he was great. I mean, Abdul Rahim, you know, he comes in with a reputation as a shooter, but I also think, you know, he's more than that. He can rebound. You know, he had 4 rebounds, but he had 3. You know, he had 1 monster offensive rebound, which was a putback in the and 1 3-point play. So I think he's a multifaceted player, and whether he's starting or coming off the bench, he's a guy that gives you some experience in that front court and also can play as a two-way guy.
It is Stonehill starting 5 to begin the second half. Brogna and Muser the bigs. Brogna backing in on Oswin. Can't put it home. Follows his own rebound. Brogna ripping through and drawing the contact. What are you looking for from Stonehill in the second half?
Well, that was the first thing I was going to say. Brogna's been quiet. He led them in scoring in their last game, 16 points versus Notre Dame in a loss. And he's one of their top scorers, had 0 points in the first half. So Coach Krause, no surprise that he drew up a play to get him the ball first to try to get him going. That's important.
Been the unquestioned leader, Todd Brogna, thus far, especially efficient from the perimeter, and forces Arun Sayer's second foul.
He's a tri-sport athlete, played volleyball and soccer in high school also.
I would not want to be on the opposite side of the net of Todd Brogna in volleyball.
No, me neither.
That would be a vicious spike. Cardette, nice find. Pierre navigating. Cardette for 3. Rebound to Stinson.
Well, it's important for Providence to get back in transition. They've done a good job of not letting Stonehill get out and run, and then building their half-court defense as they did in that last 6-7 minute stretch in the first half.
Right on cue, feeding Brogna, but Providence ready for it with Jaden Pierre.
Pierre did a nice job of fighting over the top without fouling. Good, quick hands, and Pierre is still working himself back. Had a rough preseason coming off a couple injuries, but he is such an important part to this team. The only returning starter, along with Bryce Hopkins for this Friar team.
Their second year as a starting point guard. You attend a practice, it's a who's who of who is battling a preseason injury. 5 to shoot, nice move. Nesbitt has been impressive.
That was sweet, little hesitation crossover. Nesbitt has been really the only guy on this Stonehill team that could penetrate, make something happen.
Lone Skyhawk in double figures. Joseph the answer, rims it out. Offensive rebound, Cardette, and it's kept alive by Corey Floyd. The aforementioned Pierre. Really carried it. You rarely see that call.
Very rarely. Very rarely. Kim English wants an explanation.
Kim English was talking about the sense of urgency all of yesterday. You step onto this practice floor, and you can't go through the motions because then you'll be the most inconsistent college basketball player around. If you want the game to feel normal, you bring it every day at practice.
He makes that clear. He doesn't tolerate complacency or lack of attention to detail.
Stonehill with the methodical approach. 5 to shoot. Morgan leads. No. Offensive rebound, Stinson. Battle on the deck. And a jump ball. Todd Brogna wanted a timeout. The possession arrow favors the Friars here.
But the thing about this Providence team is they've got multiple guys that can guard multiple positions, and that's the way the game is played now. Defensively, you got to be able to switch out. You got to be able to close gaps, and that starts with communication. That's one of the things that we noticed this morning in the shoot-around. The Providence team very vocal, communicating, being connected on the string. Those are some of the makings of a really good defensive team.
Sondiko just replaced Osman at the 5, gets taken away. Muser wrestles it home.
Nice job by the big man, Muser, getting the deflection and then pushing it, finishing the transition.
Response from Stonehill out of the break, cutting it to 14. Joseph, Sondiko, the extra feed. Cardette. Asandiko nearly throws it away. Providence has 7 to shoot.
A little bit of too much over dribbling by Providence. They've got 7 seconds here, more than enough time. This is a great job by Ethan Muser. Just getting in that passing lane.
Talk about doing it all as a big man, coast to coast there. Nearly a jump. Stinson, Joseph gets free and draws the foul.
So there's just a defensive mistake by Stinson. By gambling, he put his team in a bind and then gave Joseph a wide open path to draw the contact. And that's when you got to be disciplined. You got 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Just be solid, stay in front, don't take any chances. Instead, he gives Joseph a wide open lane, and Joseph does a nice job of drawing the foul.
User just picked up his second. Foul trouble, the big theme in the first half, late in the first half for Stonehill. 1 apiece so far in the second. Bensley Joseph. We'll talk pedigree and transfers for this Providence team. He comes from Miami. Just a couple of years ago, was key off the bench in that Final Four run. And called those some of the best moments of his life and his career. And you like winning when you're trying to assemble a winner.
Absolutely, and he brings that. He brings experience, he brings leadership, and he has played at a high level for 3 years. And certainly this is a welcome addition in the backcourt. Him and Pierre should be a nice combo.
About that defense from Joseph, but Stonehill still finds its man in Stinson. Lloyd, one-on-one. The help comes, denied. Muser again. Nesbitt, reward Muser. Off the mark, and Providence comes away with Joseph. Asandiko, a lot of attention for that 7-foot big man, nearly 300 pounds now.
Well, he's such a big target, and he's still working himself into shape. But I think he is the kind of player that they expect to be part of that 3-man 5 spot. Him, Arunsair, and Anton Bond all bring something different. But Asandiko is someone who's played in the A-10, played at St. Joe's, has got some experience, and they hope to use it.
Asandiko's only issue at St. Joe's. Asandiko plus the foul. How about that shiftiness from Asandiko?
Well, good job rolling hard to the rim, and it's a beautiful pass. We've seen a number of good 2-man action with the bigs, and that's just read and react. And Asandiko with the good footwork and the good catch in traffic.
St. Joe's, he only struggled with injury and his conditioning. That's something the Providence staff is confident about this year. He's dropped about 30 pounds in the offseason, so once he gets into complete game shape, there's a force to be reckoned with, and he can shoot it too. Ragna, quick trigger, off the mark from 3. Abdul-Rahim the rebound. Asandiko the target again. Bodying. Asandiko. Offensive foul.
He was determined to get to the rim. Good job by Stonehill standing the ground. A lot of contact there. He's a big dude. Providence up 16 in the amp. Still in control.
FS2 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Providence flying high, feeling good in this second half. Running out to a lead against Stonehill, led by 19 at the half. Stonehill came out strong early stages second half. Reese Asandiko, a lot of attention the first couple of minutes of the second half. His family's here. He's from Vichy, France. And once he came to the United States, he was at Winston-Salem Prep Academy, and he watched film of a previous Providence big man, Josh Aduro, all the time. Big shoes to fill, but well studied.
Yeah, that Josh Adora was a fantastic player. He was one of the best big men in this conference, and you're right, they are big shoes, but Asandiko is certainly up for the challenge. He's got the size, he's got the body at 7 feet, 290. If he can just continue to get himself in shape and understand what Coach English is looking for him, I think he's going to have a big role with this team.
Asandiko coming over from St. Joe's, a standout last year. Meantime, Stonehill still trying to chip into that lead, but a kicked ball here as Brogna loses it out of bounds.
Well, you know, Providence has dominated Stonehill on the glass. They're plus 14 in the rebound department and offensive rebounds, and they're up 9-3. Second chance points, they've got 9 to just 1 point for Stonehill, and that tells you that they have been the aggressors on the glass and not really much resistance by the Skyhawks when it comes to rebounding. They just don't have the size or the girth.
Joseph telegraphs the pass. The interception from Stinson. Stinson all the way home. Asandiko the board.
This is where Providence can get some runouts. They want to push tempo off the miss and off the turnovers.
Right on cue, it's Pierre bumping into Stinson. Is there a way for a team like Stonehill to make up for that lack of size against Providence here?
Well, it's going to have to come from positioning and schemes, and I think you don't have to be the biggest team to win, but defensively they have had trouble with the size and the strength of Providence's front line. They've got 3 7-footers, and then guys like Abdul Rahim at 6'8". So you got to either mix up your defensive coverages, maybe go some zone.
Abdul Rahim again, short. He's showing the first half as Pierre grabs the offensive rebound. Well, how about the battle from Nesbitt? Stays with the Friars, 17 to shoot.
Pierre got banged up on that loose ball. Great hustle, but I think his head got hit on the court. Slammed his head on the ground as he hustled, but it's a young man that plays every possession like it's his last, and that's why he's on the court. One of the most trusted players under the Kim English regime.
Pierre told us it's what he can do for his team. That's the motto. Asandiko, look out!
Well, first off, Joseph threads the needle. Perfect bounce pass, and that's one thing that I've been impressed with is the passing and the penetration of the point guard, Joseph, and also Pierre early on has made it easy for their bigs to finish.
Nesbitt answers back for Stonehill. This is where it's been much of the early second half, about a 16-point margin. Asandiko looking for Cardette, loses it.
Well, they're still learning each other. That was a miscommunication there. But here it was a perfect execution. Nice pocket pass roll by Asandiko with the hands, and you know, Joseph did a great job of getting 2 guys to play him. When he got the second guy to commit, that's when he threads the needle with the perfect bounce pass.
Lining up the 3, Mellis. Oh, he's stepping out. That's not his game, Christopher Mellis, but doesn't matter.
You're right, he's considered a non-shooter. But if you're Coach English, you're going to dare him to shoot. You're not going to play up on him. You're going to continue to make him prove that he can make those shots.
Barron, 8 to shoot. Nice spin move. Barron stepping through, shifting.
Well, Barron is another important piece to this Providence team. All rookie last year. A sophomore now, a year of experience, and gives him some toughness, some scoring off the bench.
Nellis and Muser battling. There's a foul right back to the Friars. Barron, one of the key surprises last year, carrying that over.
Rich Barron, unique player. You know, he's about 6'5", but he plays bigger than that because he's got a strong presence, physicality, and he's a kind of a rugged player that can score with his back to the basket. Very good at getting angles and scoring around the rim. defensively as well, he can guard multiple positions.
Aaron embodies that Chicago grit. That's where he's from. Anton Bunk's a fan favorite. He just checked back in. Here's a tray. Another for Corey Floyd.
And Floyd, just a quiet leader. Doesn't say a lot, but he lets his game do the talking.
Now battling for the rebound on the Morgan miss. Providence comes away. Nice extra pass from Barron. Cardette. Unselfishness. Barron. No. Bunk the offensive rebound. Anton Bunk.
I love the unselfishness, but when they look at the film, I think Coach English is going to say, hey, Jabri, you're our best three-point shooter, or one of them. Don't pass up that shot.
Looks like we're getting a technical here after the fact. And that's going against Josh Morgan of Stonehill.
Okay, I see it. Josh Morgan had some words with Wiley Reteki, and Wiley said, you don't know who you're talking to.
An immediate whistle. And Josh Morgan outside that play and drawing Reteki. So Abdur Rahim, Tariq, you mentioned he passed up that three. Well, he'll have an opportunity to score here.
I'm very, very impressed with his game and his leadership. He's vocal, he's encouraging his teammates, and Wiley's going to come by and give us an explanation here.
So we get the clarification, foul on the rebound, then the technical foul. So Abdur Rahim takes immediate advantage at the free throw line.
Wiley just explains to us that the technical foul was on Josh Morgan, which is why Sharif's son, Jabri Abdur Rahim, shot the technical.
Playing like Sharif tonight, so fair enough. Here's Floyd with 10 to shoot. Floyd, methodical. With 4, Barron from deep. No. And strong defense from Stonehill.
Yes, it was. Good rotation. They were in perfect position, and a nice closeout and contest on Barron to cause him to shoot the air ball.
Up to a 20-point lead for Providence. Samir Nesbitt has been the aggressor since the opening whistle. Off the mismatch, Nesbitt threw Bach to the free throw line.
And another good job by Nesbitt attacking. He had the mismatch, and I think, Bach has gotten caught a few times on a mismatch, and they have made him pay for it.
The technical on Josh Morgan opened it up a little bit more for Providence. 20-point lead early second half. Providence by 20, approaching the midway point of this second half, and Fox Sports proudly salutes our nation's veterans and the organizations that serve them every day. Our veterans deserve to live with dignity and independence, not on the streets. That's why we're making Camo our cause this Veterans Day, in support of Honor US Vets campaign. Post wearing camo on social with hashtag Honor US Vets and visit go.fox/USVets to learn how you can help end veteran homelessness. Such a great cause, and you can see veterans on hand at Amica Mutual Pavilion tonight. Plenty in the area here at Providence, Rhode Island. You think about one of the better fan bases as a whole. You got a mixture of students, local community, Providence Friar fans through and through. And you think about how long this program has been around. They set the attendance record last year.
Yeah, it's a special place, and it's always a treat to come here, especially as a student. I mean, they've got a great student section here. It's always loud, it's always fun, exciting. It's not exciting for the opposing team, but for fans, for you and I, and for the Friars, there's no better place.
Yeah, there are worse places to be coming to the AMP, and here in this atmosphere.
And I take that back. If I was playing now in this era, I would love to come in here because it's loud and, you know, it's nothing better than coming into a crowd like this and getting a win, but it's not easy. It's very hard to get a win here because of this noise we hear in the background.
That was the loudest we heard it tonight on those Nesbitt free throws in the student section. Making itself known. Pierre, put it on the move. Hayden Pierre, why not?
Nice, nice, nice. It looked a little bit like his mentor and favorite player, Kyrie Irving, both from Jersey. He told us this morning that he looks up to Kyrie, has worked out with him before.
Kofi off the mark, and Pierre tied up there with the big man Muser. Had a chance to pick Kyrie Irving's brain. That's not too often you're a young basketball player and you get to talk to your idol.
Nah, you know, it's pretty cool talking to the young man, Jaden Pierre, is a junior from Jersey. A little contact here. Glad everyone's okay. But he told us this summer he had a chance to work out with Kyrie and learn from him. And he considers him his favorite player, and even more so, he's from the same neighborhood, the same area. So Jersey representing.
5 to shoot. Simona, too strong. Mila the rebound. And that contact off the ball. Once again, Muser hitting the deck.
The game's a little physical, off the ball especially. Bodies flying around, and the officials doing a good job of keeping things under control.
This floor will get wiped off with all this skirmish. Already 17 fouls for Stonehill.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Clear contact, and now every foul rest of the way puts Providence on the free throw line. Friars 3 shy of the limit.
Well, overall, I mean, you look at this game, Emmanuel, and think about game 2, the second game of the season for both teams. You know, Providence is still searching for what kind of team they want to be. You know, they've got 5 transfers. We've seen 2 of those guys really stand out in Jabri Abdul-Rahim and Wesley Cadet. You know, they're still, the biggest question coming into tonight was their depth, because they haven't been healthy, right? They've only had 6 or 7 guys to practice with from talking to Kim English. As we watch the replay here, they're going to review this to see if it was a flagrant. Didn't look like a flagrant, but they're going to review it.
It looked like regular contact and some extra momentum after the fact. But not a lot of preseason for Providence, and that's why these 2 teams have something in common. And that's Kim English telling us the UMass game that doesn't count, that they played about a week and a half ago. That's like where we should be 2 weeks before.
Sure.
It's where they are now. There's no sugarcoating that, but he said that's normally where we would be 2 weeks before when we played UMass. Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to practice with 7 guys. And I said at the top of the broadcast, nobody cares. I was half serious, half joking. Certainly, that's not ideal. But, you know, when the games start, nobody cares about the other team's adversity. They're trying to get a win. That's what I was trying to say. But from Kim English's perspective, it is certainly not ideal when you're trying to get ready for a season. So they're replaying this a lot. A long review.
Call on the floor is confirmed. Common foul on White 3.
It shouldn't take this long, I don't think. There was no flagrant foul.
That's confirmed. No flagrant. Muser once again hitting the floor. Did use that extra time to...
Mike Roberts comes by and says just a common foul, which is what we thought.
Stonehill possession. Muser screen, slicing Nesbitt.
Good challenge by Bonk. His size is 7'2". That's the beauty of having that kind of length and size. 7'2", Bonk doesn't have to block every shot, but he can certainly change it and alter it, as he did there versus Nesbitt.
Is meaningful for Bonk, who the Friars haven't seen too much of yet. It's all this action in the second half. Pierre around the box screen. Abdur-Rahim drives from the perimeter in the first half. Nice pass from Mila. 5 to shoot. Mila off the mark. Rebound Muser. Stonehill in no rush all night. That's their MO.
And they're very poised. They don't rush shots. They try to control the pace, even though they've had trouble from the field other than the first few minutes.
Lloyd, a man possessed there. Stinson the board. Jazz Stinson, one of the vocal leaders for this Stonehill team. So happy to have him back. One of the guys who went through an injury issue last year. Lingering knee problems all season long. Here's Simona, deep three. He's got that green light.
Good looking shot by the sophomore, 6'8", smooth left, a smooth jump shot.
Louis Simona, Cincinnati, Ohio, sophomore, second year at Stonehill. Maturity has improved so much according to Chris Krause. There's a travel as Providence, despite having this 19-point lead, that's turnover number 16.
Coach English won't be happy about that, and that's can be prevented because a good number of these turnovers have been unforced, just rushing, not on the same page. And that's something you want to clean up certainly as you get ready for a tough stretch coming up.
Bonk and Floyd are off. Arun Sayer is back in for the Friars. Justin Fernandez as well. Simona, nice pass. Brogna draws a foul.
High-low action by Brogna, who has been quiet tonight. We talked about that at the top of the second half when he got his first basket, or first free throw. Goes back to the line and he's been pretty quiet tonight.
You're looking at the missing ingredient for Stonehill tonight. Yeah, they competed early, but Todd Brogna entered this one red hot. It's only 2 points for him right now. Oswin Arun Sayer. Bensley Joseph back for Oswin. High flying per usual.
That was a set play, perfectly designed and perfectly executed. When you got a guy like Arun Sayer who you just got to put the ball somewhere in the vicinity of the rim, he's going to finish it.
Nice defense from Abdur-Rahim. Brogna lines up the three, still struggling. Abdur-Rahim the rebound. Cardette for three, too strong. Joseph taps the rebound, hits the deck, but Cardette saves it right to Brogna. Morgan off balance, short, gets his own rebound. Gotta like this fight from Stonehill.
Yeah, they're scrapping, they're fighting through it, and regardless what the outcome is, similar to Notre Dame, they're gonna battle till the buzzer sounds. And we'll go back and watch this beautiful execution, lob pass, and Joseph hasn't scored the ball well, but he's played a good floor game. And that's what a point guard does, control tempo, make the right decision, and make the right reads. Big time finish by the freshman. Oswin Arun Sayer, I practiced that name all day.
Pacing around the hotel room, Arun Sayer, as he saves the rebound here. Oswin Arun Sayer. And not only the coaching staff excited about him, this entire Providence fan base. They showed him working out over the summer with these lob dunks as Joseph throws it away. And some of the replies were like, Big East, watch out. I'm shaking in my boots watching Oswin fly to the rim.
Well, he jumps out. He's 6'10". Can jump to the sky. and he's got a strong work ethic.
Oh, and he could do that. But it looks like they're going to count the basket.
It still was impressive, even though it was a goaltend.
A last-ditch effort, showing that athleticism in full. Oswin Arunser. Under 8 minutes to play. Providence up big at home. Providence by 17 at home, second game of the season, and really excited about getting that guy back, Bryce Hopkins. In just a couple of weeks, he's getting closer. At torn ACL in early January last year. Providence's unquestioned leader. And Terry, we had a chance to talk to him earlier today, and he's chomping at the bit to get back.
Well, he's a great young man, but aside from the game and what he brings, he's just a really, really impressive young man. He's a leader, he's thoughtful, he cares about his teammates, and this has been a difficult offseason for him. He talked about what he's gone through this summer and just trying to be positive, trying to take one day at a time, and now he's starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, this was an all Big East player 2 years ago, one of the best two-way players in the country. And I think he feels like he's close. He can't wait to get back with his teammates. But until then, he'll just continue to root his team on and be a leader off the court.
Joseph misfires. That's one of the guys that he mentioned by name, Bryce Hopkins did, Bensley Joseph, and his defensive tenacity. How excited he is to play with this Providence team this year in this iteration. 9 to shoot. Simona gets in the passing lane. It stays with the Friars.
One of the interesting things that Bryce told us this morning was that he knows he has to be a leader to a team of newcomers. And over the summer, he spent a lot of time with his new teammates explaining to them what is expected of them under Coach English's program and how to do certain drills, how to compete the way Coach English wants them to do that. And just explaining things, how things work here in Providence. And that's been invaluable to his new teammates.
Learned so much from Kim English in a short period of time. 3 to shoot. Asandiko back in the game. That's off the mark. Brogdon the rebound. And that relationship, Kim English and Bryce Hopkins, they went to the imaging last year and saw the torn ACL. They were immediately talking about how they could get his game better.
Oh, no question. And one of the things he's worked on, he said, it was fine-tuning his mechanics with his three-point shot and being able to be even more consistent with that. He has the ability to play inside and out. We know what kind of athlete he is, but he's just trying to add more layers to his game.
Pierre, Asandiko on both ends. Crease to Asandiko.
Asandiko's got good hands. He catches well and he finishes. Nice job keeping the ball high. And again, Pierre and Joseph have done a good job of penetrating and creating offense off the bounce for his teammates.
How much does that help when you have 2 point guards back there?
It's invaluable. I mean, you got 2 playmakers, 2 unselfish leaders that are trying to make the game easy for the rest of the team.
5 to shoot. Nesbitt rims it out. Barron the board. Asandiko running the floor. Is a mismatch for anybody. Creased Asandiko. Get out of my way.
That's just unfair. That was a mismatch from the beginning. And that's called bully ball right there with Asandiko just overpowering Stonehill's defensive front line to finish him with the thunder dunk.
Asandiko's family here from Clichy, France. That was for his family, that type of move. Look at me, I'm hammering it home. It's been all Friars since the late first half, shooting 47% from the floor. Eric, what have you made of the way they've kept Stonehill from creeping back defensively?
Well, I think what they're doing is they're attacking off the bounce. Their screen and roll action has been really good. And I think the shooting, the three-point shooting has really stood out overall. The percentage isn't great, 7 of 23, but they've been timely. And I think you're starting to see the makings of a team with a little bit more depth than they had in their last game.
Barron reading the passing lane, gets stripped away here. Nesbitt throws it away.
Nice job getting back on defense by Providence. They hustled back, got all 5 guys to sprint in the paint. And those are some of the things that Coach English has harped on about being mentally tough. Communicating, sprinting back on defense, playing off of 2 feet, catching with 2 hands. The little things that are really big things in terms of winning plays.
Sandico is making some winning plays down the stretch. Barnett also plays all night from Muser. Stinson off the window.
Well, I'm really impressed with Stonehill's fight. You know, they don't give up, and they're going to be fine when it comes to league play in the Northeast Conference. You know, they will be ready, and they've got some good guard play and Nesbitt. And
Pierre out of the corner as Providence strikes back.
I think this Stonehill team is going to be a tough out when they get ready for conference play. When you look at guys like Muser, and even though Brogna hasn't been himself tonight, they got 3 or 4 guys that can certainly do some damage.
Aaron sets up Pierre. It's kicked from behind by Brogna. Brogna not pleased with the call. As Stonehill just 3 years ago, this was a Division II school. Now they're playing teams like Providence on the road, on the big stage. Providence up big late. What a conference this is, week in and week out here at the Amp tonight. Providence picked 6 in this preseason poll. When you look at the teams that were just on the outside looking in last year, Providence leading that pack. St. John's, Seton Hall, who took a tough loss today to Fordham at the buzzer. 3 bids could turn into 6 or 7 in an eyeballing tournament.
Well, I think this is a league this year where it wouldn't surprise me if there's 5 or 6 teams that make it. I know we're very early. We're only a week into the season. But the way this league is set up, there's more quality from top to bottom. And I think right now the top 5 teams are the right teams. But nothing will surprise me. You look at this preseason All Big East freshman team, a lot of great players in this league. And Bryce Hopkins is one of those guys. When he comes back, he will certainly be one of the top players. Obviously, you got Kalkbrenner coming off a 49-point game, by the way, earlier this week. And this young man right here, Bryce Hopkins, he can't wait. I mean, we talked to him this morning, and he just lit up. You know, he's ready, but he also understands that his health is more important than coming back too fast. And he knows that he is going to continue to be a good teammate. This young man right here, Kim English, is going to be the leader that he needs him to be. And, you know, hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, possibly we'll see him back on the court.
Here's Stinson taking it hard, blocked by Sandico. Reminder, if you're looking for that UConn-New Hampshire game, you can start watching it on the Fox Sports app. And you'll see it right here on Fox Sports 2 after the conclusion of this game.
UConn is back again, and a different kind of team for them. They lost 4 starters, but Alex Caravan, the only returning starter, off to a great start. The first game he had 20 points, 7 rebounds. And, you know, Samson Johnson comes back, another returner. And then they add some new pieces. Solo Ball, a sophomore, I think he's out ready for a breakout year.
What a name.
UConn. Yeah, great name.
Ball.
Solo Ball, yeah.
When he shortened the name from Solomon to Solo, I'm like,
that's right.
That is the perfect basketball name.
It is. It's a ball. It's a hooper name. You better be able to play with a name like that.
They better be able to play some solo ball as well. And speaking of that first team, how about Cam Jones of Marquette? That's one of the guys everybody's hiring.
Oh, no, he's special. I think he'll be an All-American. He is 6'4" point guard, combo guard, but playing the point guard now. And he is the alpha guy now that Tyler Kolek, who is a great point guard himself in his own right, is in the NBA with the New York Knicks. And that Marquette team's got everyone back. Shaka Smart's done a fantastic job building that program. And they're going to be heard from for sure this year.
Stonehill into that zone look. 7 to shoot. Nice ball movement. Mila. Oh, he's had a night. That's how you know he's had a night.
Mila's a good-looking freshman. I like the way he asserts himself. He's got a good-looking jump shot. Didn't hesitate. Made a nice move in the first half with the drive.
Mellis, no. Asandiko the rebound. Mila with 7 points, a freshman. Playing locally, Natick, Massachusetts. You think about this battle, Providence and Stonehill. Oh, nice nifty move to the basket. Floyd, Corey Floyd Jr.
Floyd using that pro dribble and the poise and a little bit of hesitation to freeze the defense and finishes with ease.
Got to be much more pleased, Providence perspective. Coming off that game against Central, he got the win, shook off some rust. Now you're playing more together. Muser rims it out. Mellis always battling, but this back to the Friars. And here's a fan favorite, Anton Bunk, coming back in, and that's why the electricity is fueling this place.
Good looking shot by the freshman, Mela. I think if you're Coach English, you have to be encouraged with the way they have played as a team from start to finish. It wasn't perfect, but got a chance to get some different rotations, some different guys' minutes.
Kim English should probably say want to clean up the turnovers. Outside of that, a lot of positives tonight. Fernandez nearly throws it away. Just stays with the Friars, 10 to shoot. Eli Delorier will get his first look. Second year at Providence. His freshman year cut short last year with a foot injury. He's from Shipman, Virginia. Seven to shoot. 11, Jotham Daniels just in. Mila, long range. Rebound to Stinson. Final minute and change. Mellis with the toughness of the free throw line.
Well, both teams know it's a long season, and both coaches, I'm sure, are going to take some positives and some negatives from this game. But at this early point of the year, you want to continue to learn who your team is, and this is probably the biggest challenge for both coaches is with the transfer portal and everything that comes with that, you don't really know your team until at least 6 to 7 games in, maybe longer. In this case for Providence, it may be long because Bryce Hopkins, their best player, isn't even in the lineup yet.
Hoping to be peaking at the right time. Hopkins back, learning more come conference play. This Providence team locked and loaded, much more depth after last year. Kim English admitted, well, we didn't have enough to sustain key injuries as Mellis knocks down that free throw. And now you see the full second group with walk-ons in there. Luke Fonts, who everyone on this team loves, and Kieran O'Hare.
Yeah, Fonts is a fan favorite.
O'Hare ripped away. Fonts there to get it.
And they want him to shoot it.
Immediately in traffic. Jump ball, and the possession arrow favors Stonehill. Luke Fonts is one of the leaders of this team, a senior local kid, 1 hour southeast of Providence. And we asked some guys, like, who embodies the personality of this team? And it's Luke Fonts.
Luke Fonts. His brother Andrew played for the Friars a few years ago. So it's a family history here.
We got to play together part of that magical season a couple of years ago. Chillingford wide open. Too short, rebound O'Hare. There is a different shot clock and game clock to possibly get a Fonts shot off.
He wants the ball.
Make no mistake about it. Instead, it's Jotham Daniels to the hole. Nilavon Jotham Daniels gets involved. Providence cruising. A heave. Diamantis just in. Christopher Diamantis off the mark. And Stonehill will earn some late free throws with Neil Marquardt. Marquardt, 4th year at Stonehill. Steady hand from Rockville Center, New York on Long Island. Attended Chaminade High School.
Well-known school, Long Island.
Huge New York sports fan, this guy. Knicks, Rangers, Giants, Yankees, true Long Island guy.
Just like you.
Yeah.
You know?
We share each team.
That's right.
3 seconds to go. A happy night for the Providence Friars. They knock off their local rival in Stonehill.
Yeah, impressive win for the Friars, and I think if you're Coach English, you feel encouraged that you got guys different kinds of minutes, more minutes, and got a chance to see your team improve. You know, you just want to keep stacking up good days and keep getting better. And we're going to try to build on that as they get ready for their next one versus Hampton next week.
This was the 100th career head coaching game for Kim English, a milestone for the Providence head man, and it's victorious 76-49 over Stonehill. Well, if you were looking for UConn, New Hampshire, now you have it. Providence, big time on the home floor. We join UConn, New Hampshire in progress with Dave Sims and Bill Raftery. Until then, for Tariq Turner, Emmanuel Brevard, so long from Providence, Rhode Island. Have a great night.